Hello, and thank you so much for allowing me to join you by means of this video. I wish I could be there in person. Today we really face only three questions about the climate crisis. The first one is, must we change? Well, every day we pour another 110 million tons of global warming pollution into the atmosphere, as if it's an open sewer. And the extra heat energy trapped by all of that man-made global warming is now equal to the heat energy that would be released by 400,000 Hiroshima-class atomic bombs exploding every single day in our atmosphere. It's a big planet, but that's a lot of energy. And we're seeing the consequences of all that extra heat energy every single day. The news looks like a nature hike through the book of Revelation. Stronger storms, record downpours, more destructive floods and mudslides, deeper and longer droughts, a lot more fires, crop failures, lower yields, tropical diseases spreading into higher latitudes, melting ice and the consequent sea level rise. So not only are the scientists telling us we must change, now Mother Nature is telling us we must change. We're pushing our modern infrastructure to its breaking point, forcing millions of people to become climate refugees. There are other causes of the refugee crisis, but this is making it worse. Governments are being stabilized. In the book of Luke, describing the words of Jesus, we find the following statement. And I quote, "He said also to the people, when you see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway you say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when you see the south wind blow, you say, there will be heat, and it comes to pass. Ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that you do not discern this time? Yea, and why even of yourselves judge you not what is right?" End quote. Well, in every faith tradition, there are powerful and eloquent instructions about our moral duty to protect God's creation. In every tradition, we are instructed to be good stewards. And we're taught that being given dominion does not mean a license for domination. It doesn't mean that we have a license to destructively exploit the earth for the purpose of satisfying our own greed or passions without having any respect for the integrity of God's creation. Indeed, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. And in my tradition and every other, that thought is expressed many times. So yes, the answer to the first question is we must change. Even as the scientists have long warned us, creation itself is now, in the words of Pope Francis, crying out. The second question, after must we change, is can we change? Because if we have to and we don't have the ability, then that's a recipe for frustration. But fortunately, the answer to that second question is also a resounding yes. Indeed, I'm more hopeful than ever that we are seeing the development of exciting new capacities for changing and changing in time to avoid the most destructive consequences that the scientists have long warned us about. For one thing, the cost of renewable energy is now coming down so quickly that it's competitive with electricity from burning fossil fuels in a growing number of areas around the world. Major corporations are making significant new investments in renewable energy, clean sources of energy, battery storage, energy efficiency and conservation. And they're making money while doing it. And many investors are now divesting from fossil fuels. They're worried that after the subprime mortgage crisis, they may face a subprime carbon asset crisis. And the increasing costs of carbon pollution are now affecting people's daily lives, and people are demanding action. Just look at the problems in China where people can't breathe easily. Toward the end of 2014, I and many others marched with almost 500,000 climate activists, I know many of you were there, down through the streets of Manhattan as similar events were held in cities all around the world, demanding that we change. And now more and more governments, not only national governments, but regional and local governments, are also beginning to act. And even when these national governments have been slow to act or have failed to act, and when political forces have worked hard to prevent climate action, cities and states and provinces are now proving to be a bold and effective force. Religious communities are calling for change. And this is so crucial. Earlier this year, Pope Francis so eloquently called on people throughout the world to rise above our differences and work together in order to solve the climate crisis. And so today you are gathered for an interfaith discussion on how to protect our planet and how to save the conditions that have led to the flourishing of human civilization. So the answer to that second question is yes, we can change. And now comes the third question: will we change? That question may be answered this year. 2015 is a critical year for climate action. Later this year, the leaders of governments from every nation in the world will meet in Paris to try to finally secure a global agreement to solve the climate crisis. We need support from everyone, including grassroots activism, to encourage and ensure that the necessary actions are taken by the leaders attending these talks. Leaders in the faith communities of this nation and nations all around the world should continue being actively engaged in helping people empower themselves to defend their communities and families, to defend God's green earth, and to defend our human community. Every great moral cause ultimately is resolved into a choice between what is right and what is wrong. It has been a long, hard journey to reach that stage in the fight to solve the climate crisis. But we're winning because of the commitment of people like you, with a diverse array of backgrounds and beliefs from all over the world. I'm extremely grateful, and I speak for many more who would like to say to all of you for what you are doing and what you're about to do, thank you.